first page. This is Rapid Mail. All the pages, or almost all the pages that you send me, are in German. So I will use Google Translate just so the people that don't speak German can understand what the pages say. But I will, of course, still talk about content, a bit about headlines, and still I will translate it just so people understand who don't speak German. I hope that's all right. But usually those pages are German, like this one. So this is from Rapid Mail. I just need to scroll down in my notes here. And this was sent to me by Sven by email, I think. I think he responded to my newsletter, which is cool because it was the first time I said to people, hey, if you have any page or anything to add, just reply to this email. And people do that. I got like 20 answers or 20 replies to my newsletter. So if you do email marketing and you want to communicate, think about asking people to reply to your email, because that's what works when you type email. Just to tell you. Okay, so, but about this headline. So, first of all, maybe just to make you understand how I behave or what I do when I look at different websites and when I do these live analysis. Sometimes I even do it without seeing the page first, which is a bit hard because I have to speak and think at the same time. And you know, men at least are not good at multitasking. I'm terrible at multitasking, so I ask people to send it to me before so I can provide some better information when I'm talking about the site. But usually, first of all, when I look at a landing page, because you always have to understand what is a landing page. Is a page that people land on, obviously. And it's not only those campaign landing pages where you have like a Google AdWords ad or a Facebook ad or a newsletter or something else where people click and they land on it and it's from advertising. There are also pages that people land on from searching something in Google. So basically every page that you have can be a landing page, except maybe your checkout step 3 page or something, but your normal pages should be landing pages, usually. And a landing page always has to answer 3 things when people come there. And this is basically if you take anything with you from today, if you learn anything, and you haven't heard this yet, because I say this a lot, it's your landing page has to answer 3 questions when people come to your site. And the first question is, what is it about? The second is, what's good for me in this offer? And the third is, what's next? So what do I do next? And those 3 questions are usually in my head when I look at pages for the first time. Same thing here. So I will just look at the headline, and the first seconds, as I said, there will be a live stream about this, but the first seconds about when people come to your page are very important, because people have to understand really quickly that your content or what you have on your page is good for them, because they don't only open your page usually they go to Google, they click the first 5 results or something, and then they decide which result will get my attention, which result will I spend my time on. And so your first seconds have to really make the people understand, this is good for me, this is what I was searching for, this is what I need. And so, yeah, just to make you understand how I start when I look at those pages. And so for this page, let's start with a headline maybe. I mean, I won't talk about design today because design is really subjective, and it's nothing that's too important except when you're selling something design related. But for these pages, I think every design that's all right works, and it's more about the content. And here the main headline is okay. I mean, it tells you what this page is about. It says create newsletter with Rapid Mail, or in German, I think it was like Newsletter erstellen mit Rapid Mail, something like that. And this is okay because people understand what this page is about. And this is basically the main thing that a headline has to do. It's the job of a headline. It has to explain what is this page about. There are bad examples throughout the internet, and I think also today we have some where the headlines don't really do their job, and they have to make people understand what it is about, because people look at it really in the first moment when they come to your page. If your visual hierarchy is fine, so if it pops out of your page, people will have a look at that very early, and it has to explain what it is. It shouldn't have to be interpreted. People have to understand it when they see it. So it's okay because this headline does that. And what's missing here, I think, is the part of why should I use Rapid Mail instead of MailChimp, instead of Sendy, instead of Cleverreach instead of ActiveCampaign, and I don't know what else newsletter softwares people use, but why should I use RapidMail? And this isn't really explained here. So this is what I'm missing on this page, and it's somehow hidden. I have to highlight my mouse. It's somehow hidden in this area here. So you have this longer introductory text, and it says important things like you have an easy and fast creation, which is set here, and you have an intuitive editor, and you have impressive templates, and you have reliable shipping and delivery, and you don't get into the spam filter. And this is all very, very, very important information that might convince me to use your product instead of something else. And the thing is, it isn't really going to my head. I don't really understand that you offer these things, Sven, if you're watching. So what I would recommend is you don't put your introductory copy there like this, so you don't just put a long paragraph of text there, but instead you should use bullet lists, because bullet lists are getting into my head so much faster than a paragraph of text. Also, I don't know if you've heard of my new startup, The Digital Family. I have a new video there where I'm talking about directing attention, making people see things or not see things. And I will tell you about that later maybe. But there I'm explaining just this. So just put your words in the right positions, use bullets instead of paragraphs, because it will come to the people's minds, to the brain, to the attention more easily. Okay, so this is the first thing. So change the paragraph into a bullet list. Then next thing I would recommend, you have this this call to action here. So this get started now, or in German I think it's jetzt loslegen or something like that. And this is okay. So I mean, you want people to start really quickly, and just to show you what happens. So if I click this button, there comes this overlay where it says, try it 100% free, just enter your email, and then you can, I don't know what you can because it's not explained. I would do that, by the way, so explain what will happen. But basically you get some kind of free test account, or you get some kind of, just a free trial. I don't know what, because it's not explained, but something is free. So this is very important, because when people are here and they should click on this button, they have this question in mind, because you're saying get started now, but there is no information about pricing on the page. It's to spoil you a bit, it's at the bottom. So when you scroll down here, you have some information saying it's starting at 9 euros per month. So you get some information about pricing. But when you want people to convert here at the top, then tell them start your free trial, or start or send 2,000 emails for free now, or something like that. So just give an indication on pricing. And also, as your software as a service tool, so a newsletter tool is somehow software as a service, I would always recommend to have a pricing page in your main menu. You don't have a main menu here, so there's nothing that I can click on, but these are very important things. So if you are software as a service, if you have a software as a service product, then have a main navigation that says pricing, features, start now, things like that, because people will look there when they look for information, and you have to make it as easy as possible for them to find that information. And this doesn't really happen here, because people might not scroll through all this page, because when they come to this part, maybe where you have these types of content pieces, then people might stop scrolling, because they say, okay, all right. And then they go to the top again, so they will not read your whole page. Even if you have analytics, scroll tracking, or you use mouse tracking like Hotjar or Mouseflow or something, where you have heat maps of your scroll height of the users on your page, and it might be very high, but this could be because people come to your page and they just see, okay, what's this page about? What's on here? Scroll down, scroll up again, 100% scroll height, but they have not read it. So don't just trust the scroll height in your analytics, but also see how much time do people spend in different pages and different parts of your page. All right, then, okay, so continuing at the top here. So you have some parts with social proof built in here. If you don't know what social proof is, someone of you or any of you, then you must understand that people are more likely to buy something or to do something if they think that other people have done it and found it good. So that's basically social proof. Patrick, I will answer to that in a second. Okay, so social proof is a nice thing that you can add here, and you do it a bit. So you say more than 80,000 big and small customers are convinced. By the way, it's very nice that you say big and small, because if you would just put your prestige clients there, just your biggest clients, then your smaller clients, which is, I think, the majority of your clients, would maybe think it's too expensive for them, or it's just for big companies or something. So it's cool that you have a mix there. And I would even increase that. So right now you're just saying more than 80,000. It's more trustworthy if you put a specific number there. Like, don't say more than 80,000, say 81,446. It's more trustworthy if it's such a number. And also I would put some kind of feeling there that there's something happening right now, because right now the page is dead. You have to think of it just like with a good looking store on your street. So you go through your street and you have a store and it's empty. No one is in there. It looks good, but no one's in there. You don't really want to be the first one who goes in there. And you also sometimes have this issue on websites and on landing pages. And what you can do there to change this is that you add some information about, by the way, for example, yesterday, 4,000 clients sent 1 million emails with our software or something like that. So you have just some current information, what's happening right now. Then also just a few small things, I will answer the comment here from Patrick. He says navigation distracts you when you are on a landing page. And I would say yes and no. So if you have a landing page like this one, this is, I think, also a landing page when you come from Google. So it's just a part of the main page. I'm not sure if that's true, because I just got the link. I didn't go there through Google. But if it's just organic traffic, if it's just people visiting your website and it's a landing page, then navigation is important, because people have to be able to go through your content to find everything. And if it's a landing page that's just for one campaign, then I would still recommend to put a navigation there, as long as it's focused on your product that you're advertising for here. So you have the software, and putting something like what's the features, what's the pricing in your navigation is still focused around this product. I would not recommend, however, to put something there like we also have different tools for email marketing, like marketing automation tools, or we have I don't know, I have no examples, but I guess you know what I mean. So as long as it's focused on the product, you can put the navigation there. Just don't lead the people in different areas of your company that has nothing to do, or that have nothing to do with the offer that you have on this landing page. All right, then just going down a bit, we're skipping to the next page in a moment, because I'm talking a bit long about this page. Okay, Sven says it's only for an SEA campaign. In this case, I would add a navigation here, and when people click it, just let them scroll down so they see what they're missing while scrolling down to that point. So if you're talking about pricing, let them scroll down here to the part where the pricing is. I think that's better than having no navigation at all. Okay, next thing, just a few small things about the navigation, about the steps here that you have. So you have the first, second, third, fourth step. This is a translation error here. Usually it's consistent. It's not number word. It's consistent. It's just a translation. And I would just add some more information here. So right now this is all features. It's not benefits, but you should add benefits in this position. So if you say create newsletter, you should talk about how easy it is. How many templates do you have? How easy is the editor to use? How long does it take? And whatever. And here, when you say organize recipients, what can you do with that? So can you do tag-based audiences? Can you have multiple lists? Can you manage bounces and opt-outs and whatever, and so on and so on? And also reliable shipping. I guess shipping is a bit confusing here. This might be a translation error again, sorry. I guess it's a translation error. I will just see. Oh, yeah, okay. It's a translation error, so it says send reliably. And here, I think it's very important to talk about you're not getting into the spam folder if you use our service and things like that. So just add a few information so that people understand what's good about the product that you offer. Then just the last thing about this page is the call to action copy. So I will stick to the German version now because it's easier to explain. So you have jetzt loslegen, which means starts now. Then you have the next one that means jetzt kostenlos anmelden, which means sign up for free now. Then you have los geht's, which means let's go. And then you have selbst überzeugen, which means convince yourself. And it's all different call to action copy, but it's all the same goal. It's all the same target that they lead to. So they all open this window that's coming here. So I'll just scroll down to show you. So it's all the same. And in this case, I would also use the same call to action copy because it's confusing if you don't do it, because then people might think, I think kostenlos anmelden, like sign up for free, sounds more convincing than what you have at the top here. So people might be confused. Is it the same if I click this or click another link? So it's just a strange user experience. I would just stick to the to one copy. If it's one goal, then have the same call to action copy all the time. All right. A long talk about this page. Next page now. This will be this one here. I'm just pulling it over from my other screen. Whoops. And this is bdandy.com, which is from Feras, who sent this to me. Thanks for that. And when I came to this page, I was a bit lost. So I look at this page and I don't really know what it's about. So talking about the headline again. So you have unsere Medienpartner, which means our media partners. And it doesn't tell me what is this. So it says bdandy, but I haven't heard of that before. I have, but I act like I haven't heard of it before. And just when you see here, when you see the top right, then you see, oh, it says tickets. It says after trade party. It says Aussteller werden, which means become an exhibitioner or exhibitor, I think. And this is not really explaining what this page is about. So I would recommend to add some kind of headline here. Again, I talk a lot about headlines, I know, but it's very important and a lot of people get it wrong. So just say something like, what are you? We are the exhibition for the dandy lifestyle. I don't know. And you have all this information here at the bottom, at least a bit, but people won't find it. And here, if you're here, you don't see that you can scroll. You don't necessarily see the menu here at the top. And also, you don't really know that you can click these numbers in this position here because it's not really visible. It could be a part of the background image. You don't see it's an interaction element. So if you click it, then you see these things here. So it's a bit more explanatory. You understand a bit better what this page is about when you click through these things. But I guess you just need a good above the fold area. Like before people scroll, you have to explain what is it about, what's cool here, why should I visit this event? And I think it's quite a niche. So people who come here and who are interested in this topic, they might find this really cool because I guess there are not many events like these. And so you should explain what it is. It's very important. And also you don't really see that you can scroll. So when you come to this page, again, I'll just show you the first slide. There's no indication that I can scroll down because there's just the starting image fills 100% of the viewport height. By the way, if you type CSS, if you can write CSS, it's a cool metric that I like to use when you want to use areas or divs on your page that fill the full height of your viewport, or just 80% or 200%, then just use 100 VH instead of something like PX or EM or something. So VH for vertical height is a metric that you can use in CSS, and it's helping you a lot. So you don't have to use jQuery all the time to read the viewport height and then translate blah blah blah. Okay. going on with this. So I talked about the slider controls, about the headline, the navigation visibility, and also about the navigation content. I would like to say something. So you have tickets, after freight party, become exhibitor, which is okay. But I think just to make people find what they're looking for, you should add things like who are our exhibitors, what's our agenda, where is it happening, and all this information. It's all hidden down here. So people have to scroll down to find it, but people won't really do it if they don't know that it's even possible. So I would just change my navigation a bit and add those things there, make it more visible so people can see it, and so it's easier to use. Then you have no call to action button here. That's also very, very important. So when people come to your page, give them something that they should do first. So they come to the page, they know what's the next step that I will take. Right now, they can decide, will I use the navigation? Will I use this thing at the side here? Will I go here? They have to find out themselves, but you have to give it to them on a silver tablet and say, here, that's the way you should go. And that's very important on landing pages. So change that. Then just one small thing, by the way, if you don't know that, so if you're in Google Chrome and you want to see how your page looks in different mobile devices, just right click, say inspect, or I think beobachten, or I don't know what's it in English, in German, but it's that thing. And then you get the console here, and with the console you can have you have this small icon here where you can just click, and then you switch from desktop view to a mobile view, and then you should reload your page because it will maybe use a different CSS or something like that, like in this case, and then you can look at it on a mobile device where you can change the device here at the top. Clara, thanks. It says untersuchen in Chrome. So here, this also happens a lot, especially when you use something like WordPress. So you have WordPress as your content management system, and then you have themes that you use that have strange mobile themes. So like in this case, it doesn't really look like the desktop page. So you have a totally different color here. You have a totally different look and feel of your page. Also the whole starting area. So you had this big area where you have this huge background image. You have your headline that should be changed, but still you have the headline there. And all this information is lost when you go to your mobile page. So I would recommend to go responsive. So just remove the extra theme and just use a responsive theme or program one yourself if you can. And that's very, I think that's the way to go, because here the site is very unusable. I would not go through this site. I would just think, I'm not interested in an exclusive poker round, so I will just leave the site because I think it's about this and it's not about your event. Okay, so continuing to the next one. I'll just have a look at the time. Okay, we're at 35 minutes or 30 minutes. That's all right. By the way, it will be about 1 hour total today. I will try to be a bit fast. Okay, so next page. This is from Christoph, who sent me this, and which was nice. He also sent me some information about this. So he said the page, it's, I will just use the translate feature again. It's about a Japan round trip. So you want to travel to Japan and you can use this page to book your travel. And he says that the page ranks very well. So they have good rankings in search engines. I guess he means Google. And still they have almost 0 sales. So the traffic is coming, but the traffic is not buying. What happens though is that people buy via phone. So they call them, like you can do here or in some other places. And then they will use this one, but they will not book through the page. And this is, of course, a bit bad because you have some effort when you get the phone call and you have to talk to people. And it's effort that you don't have when people book online. So I would always, or you should try to, just to have the online conversion. Sorry for the strange speaking right now because I just got 2 phone calls on my phone where I see your comments. That was a bit distracting. Okay, but still about this page. So people are buying via phone, they don't buy online, and there's a lot of traffic. So what could be the reason for that? And I looked at the page and I think there's a few things that prevent people from buying online on this page. The first thing is it's a landing page where people come from Google when they Google for Japan Rundreise, so like Japan round trip. And traveling is extremely emotional. So you come to this page, and no offense, but this is not an emotional page. It's like you have a lot of text, then you have these offers that there are there, and you have this information here like visa free to China. By the way, China is not Japan. I just recognized that. So you just have very unemotional content. Also, when you scroll down, you see this here, and no thanks, I will not buy here. I will rather go to a page that is showing me, hey, this is your future travel. It will be the best trip. You will see these things in Japan and it will all be great. And look at how beautiful it is. And your page is just text. And I think this is something you have to change. So change your design, make it more emotional, not by adding people there who smile or something. That doesn't mean emotional, or it can mean emotional, but that's not what I mean. I just mean make people feel Japan when they come to your page, and don't make it look like some, I don't know, like some German governmental institution website. Okay, so that's the first thing. So design is important. The other thing is content. So you have a lot of content on your page, and I guess it's the reason why you're ranking so well in Google. But I guess you also want people to read your content, because right now it feels like it's written for a search engine. It doesn't feel like it's written for a human. So what can you do to change that? I will just scroll in this area of the page here and tell you a few things about how to make your content interesting and attractive to read. So first thing is, I said that in a few live streams in the past, but I will just repeat myself. So you have your content going through the full width of your website. So it's going from the total left to the total right. And this makes it very hard to read, because when you're reading this, for example, you are here and you are at the end of this line, at this word here, and then your eye has to jump over to the next line here. That is very complex. That is very hard for the brain, because you might not hit the right line again. Here it's even worse when you have these lines so close to each other, and it's pretty hard to go from this one here to that thing without missing the line. I don't say that people cannot do that. I just say it looks complex, it looks difficult, it looks like cognitive effort, and that's a reason why people will just look at the content itself, at the shape of it, not really at the single words, and they will just say, no, I won't read it because it looks meh. I don't want to read it. So just don't go through the full page width when you have the content there. Just reduce it to half of it or something. Also, you need headlines that are visible. So right now you're saying something about food and drink in Japan, worth knowing about our trips to Japan, which is all right. But then you have these subheadlines here, and they don't really pop out of the content. So you have no visual hierarchy there, and they should pop out a lot. So make them bold, maybe color them, maybe put some more white space around them so they stick out more, and make people understand what are the different parts of this content when they skim the website. So skimming, it's from the speed reading field. It's a technique where you come to a page, you scroll down, you just get a real quick overview. And what usually happens there is that your eye sticks to contrast, to high contrast points, and you don't really have them here. So you have them a bit in these headlines, but you should have more. And also you could use bold words, you could put images there, just make it more interesting. Put bullet lists there, whatever. Just you have a mix of things that you can do to make text more interesting than just putting paragraphs there. And that's what I would recommend. Then, just about this thing here. So in this case, when you have your trips here, you say details about the trip, and you click that. And then you come to this, as soon as it's loading, you come to this page where you're saying book now, which is all right. It's a bit early, but it's still all right. So people will understand that that's the way where they can book the trip. But still, when you go down to the page here, and remember this image that you see right now, so this building there, and you go down and you read some of the content, blah, 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 and you go down further. Also, this doesn't look good, but not talking about that today. And you click book now, and you come there. Oh, now it works. earlier when I was trying this, it was sending me to the very top of the page, and suddenly there was another image from the slider. So I was a bit confused, like, where am I right now? But okay, I'm not saying that because now it worked. Maybe it was just a bug that happened for me while it happened. But still, when you now say book now, you have these informations here, and you have this these links that says itinerary. I don't even know how to say that on the date. I will just translate back to German because it's easier to explain again. Sorry for my English. You say Reiseverlauf am Termin, you click it, and then you come to this part of the page. And then when you scroll down, you have your book now button again. So you are leading people out of the checkout funnel, and that's not cool. So when you click it, then they come again to the page or they even come to another page, but they don't find what where they were before. So it's just a bit strange because people start the funnel and then you send them out again and then you send them back in, but in a different position. So it's a bit confusing. I hope you understand what I mean. All right, next page. Also, again, if you have questions, type them in the comments. I'm reading all the time here on my phone. Okay, so next question is from Roxy. We were meeting yesterday for a coffee in Hamburg, and yeah, the thing is, I know what she does. I came to this page because she explained to me what she is doing, but if you don't know her, you might not know what she's doing when you land on this page. So it says roxy.pro, whatever that means, and then your way to a more happy me. Sorry, translating again. So, and then she says, go to the shop. And I think that's too early because people will not really know what you offer and what people should buy on your page. And I translated this thing, or I Googled the translation. You go like a bull at a gate. So du fällst mit der Tür ins Haus. And that's all too early. And people will come to this page and they will not see, again, just like with the BeDandy website, they will not understand what is it. And they don't necessarily see that they can scroll down, and they can. And there's all the information. So you have it all on your website, but you don't tell people how to get there. And there's a few things that you can do to make people get there. One thing is just make it visible. So when people come to your page and they have this above the fold area here, so the area that they see before they scroll, they don't see that there's content. But if you would just program it like this, or have someone program it like this, so that a bit of the content is visible, like right now, then people would know, oh, there's more content hidden, and they will scroll down. So you're breaking the fold, the bottom edge of your viewport, and there's something looking or visible, and then so people will understand there's more content. Another thing that you could do is just add another call to action. I will just show you an example. No advertisement for myself, just a bit maybe, but on my page from a new startup, we do it like this. So we have 2 call to actions in the beginning, and we start with the call to action that tells people to get more information before they buy. So you have this get started, which would lead you to the sign up form, but you have this tell me more. The copy is bad, by the way. It's not a good call to action. I'm not saying that, but still people will understand. They can click it and they will go down. And also when they are here, they can even click them more. They can click them again. And so we are leading the person who's watching the page through the content with these call to actions. And in the end, it's again, get started. So sign up. And this is something you could do here. So just add another call to action, make it the primary call to action. So have something like, find out what's in here and find out how I can help you, and send them down when clicking this, and have your secondary call to action, buy it. So I guess that's the better way, because you have all the information here, as I said earlier, and it's good content. And also I would recommend things like these videos here. You have a video where you explain your product and you are the product. So you have a course where you tell people how to get fit, how to eat healthier, and you explain all of this in the video, and you are the product. So you're selling yourself. No offense, so don't get me wrong, but I guess you know what I mean. And why don't you put this video in the beginning? So you have this image here. It's all right, but maybe put your video there so people can just watch the video and understand what you are offering. I guess that would increase your sales a lot. Just going through my notes. Yeah, also, I checked the mobile page for this one. This is just something that every one of you should do after this live stream. So just use your phone, go to your website and check if everything is readable. So just to show you this example, just reloading the page, you have this content here and things like this subhead line or something. It's not really visible because the image, the background image, is put in a bad way behind this subhead line, and so it makes it hard to read. And just check this. So to just go to your mobile sites and see if everything on your page is readable, and also, of course, also click a few images or click everything that you can do on your page and then see if everything's working fine, because mobile quality assurance doesn't really happen. And my bonus tip for this, don't just do it like this, but do it like this. Look at your page in landscape view, not just in portrait, and see what's happening, and you might be surprised. So just do that, and yeah, that should help. All right, going to the next page. I try to be fast. This one is from Julian. To be honest, he said to me that I could add this to my live stream when we were eating in Hamburg a few days ago, and I haven't really asked him again if I can use it. So if you're seeing this and you say, oh, I didn't want you to use this page, then I'm sorry. I just thought I could. So yeah, I guess that's okay. So if you go to this page, the first thing, I hope you can see this in the live stream. You see this information here saying not secured. So it's not an HTTPS, not SSL encrypted website. If you go SSL on this page without having this certificate, this is now very basic SEO or technical stuff, and you type HTTPS, then this comes. And so, of course, you don't want that. And also, it's very, very, very important to change your website to SSL today, because Google is changing something tomorrow. So I just read this month about something like deadline, SSL deadline, things like that. And there's this article. Did I talk about these exit intent bullshit pop-ups? I won't talk about them today. Don't do that. Okay, so you have this content here from Search Engine Journal, and you can just Google for Google SSL deadline, and you will see that this month, so July 2018, is the month where people allows you to have a no SSL, just a normal HTTP website. But I guess tomorrow, because I think tomorrow July ends, there will be warnings saying this page is not secure, visible for everyone. So change your site to SSL today. And if not, then do it tomorrow, but do it really quickly, because you will lose a lot of visitors starting tomorrow, because you get these warnings from Google. If it's not starting tomorrow, it will start very soon, because they said July is the deadline for this. So do that. Okay, but that's just a small technical information. Now, more about this site. So this, again, is a very cool headline that explains what's in there for me. So it says regaining lost customers. It's pretty good, pretty comprehensible, so people will understand what it means. But still, I would add some more information. You do this already with this subheadline. So about 70% of our customers cancel their purchases with a filled cart. Use the sales potential for your online shop. Cool, but how exactly does it work? I think this information is missing before you want someone to convert or type their email address here. You have this information on the page already. So you say things like, you have exit intent pop-ups, which I just said don't use them, but you can use them, but maybe not. Test it. But also things like email automation to get people back and whatever you offer there. So there are a lot of things that you can do with your software, but it should be visible before people should convert. So put this in this area here so people understand. And then you have this form here that says your business email address and then send. But why? What's the goal? What do you want from me? Like, is this a free trial sign up? Do I sign up for something? Do I get a newsletter? Do I request a quote? What's happening? Explain it. So just don't say send on your button. Send is the worst call to action copy that you can put on a website. I guess the best call to action copy, I think Talia is watching. I've seen her before. I don't know if she already left. Maybe she's watching. When I was watching a talk from her at Conversion Summit last year, or Growth Marketing Summit last year. She was talking about this framework, what plus why. So explain what should people do right now, like request a quote or sign up for free or whatever that is. And then explain why should they do it. So to increase your sales or something like this. So just put this what and why information on your call to action copy button, and that should really increase the amount of people that click on there. Okay, next thing, and this is the last page because we're at 51 minutes, but I will just go really quickly through the comments because Izzy said something. Hello, Izzy. So she says on the digital family on the page, she says that my tell me more call to action button is more prominent than my get started, which is my primary goal. What was the reason behind this? So the reason is that this would be too early. I don't want people to click get started before they understand what's in there. So that's why I have this button here for the people who want to be fast, who want to click it really early. But it's more important to make people understand what they get. And so the tell me more button is the primary one. All right, going on with the last page, and this is from Anna, and I think Anna is watching. I've seen her in the comments earlier. And so this is from Credit Safe, and I will translate again. So normal website is German. I will still translate to English for all the people who don't speak German. And so this page basically explains what it is about. So I guess here the hero shot is really cool. So you have the background image, the main image of your landing page, and it shows what's happening when you use this software or when you use this service, and it tells you get some credibility, or sorry, I don't know the English word, but do they have enough money? Can you trust them? Information from companies. And the image explains this. And I've seen a talk or an article from conversionxl.com, great website, by the way. And they said, find out if your images suck by removing all the copy. So just look at your images and then read or see the images and ask yourself, do people understand what my page is about? Because people will, they will get the information out of your images much quicker than they will get it out of your copy, because the brain processes images faster than it processes text. So have images that explain what your page is about. And this image kind of does this pretty good. So I guess that's a cool image. Then you have this main headline here. And here the question would be, do all the people on your page understand what it is about, or do only the people who come from your from your home page or from another page who landed here understand what this is about? Because I guess if people come from external, like they come from Google, they come from wherever, not from your other sub pages, then people might not understand what exactly or what they can do with this, or at least how it works. So I guess this how it works is really important to explain here, because you say pay once and check the credit rating indefinitely. So that's good information. But how does it work? Like, does it work online? Do I have to use physical letters that I have to send? Or does it work with an app? Or how exactly does it happen? So I would just add that in a sub headline, and I would not use a sub headline like this. So don't say solutions you can count on. That's no offense, Anna, but that's bullshit bingo. That doesn't transfer any value to the visitor of the page. So everyone says that, but put some information there that's telling people, oh, nice, I want that. But solutions you can count on is not something where people say, oh, that's nice. They just say, yeah, whatever. They will basically ignore it, I guess. So that's the first thing. Then you have this call to action here saying request a quote. What for? For what? First of all, I would maybe what I would do if this was my page, I would add some kind of process description, like what happens when I want to use this. How do I get there? So first thing would be, you can say request a quote, but I would add the reason for it to the copy, to the button. So request a quote, and then maybe in a subline, and start using it. I don't know, I'm not a copywriter, but just add the reason to that button. And then I would put some kind of 1, 2, 3. What's happening then? So first step would be request your quote for whatever. I don't know for what because it's not explained. Then we will talk to you to find out which is the right package or the right plan for you. And third thing, start using or start getting the credit rating information on your phone immediately, whatever, so that people understand what is this leading to, what's the goal of all of this. I would explain that. Then, again, readability, which I said earlier with this Japan travel website. So you have the text that go through the whole page width. Don't do that. Reduce it to half of it or less, so it's easier for the eye to process. Again, if you're here, if you just tuned in and you haven't watched all of it, so if you're here, it's hard for the eye to jump to the next line and hitting the right line, and the brain will think it's complex. I don't really want to read that text. Then you have your plans on your page. So here at the bottom somewhere. So you have these, and I think it's really, really hard to differentiate what's the right one for me. So you have starter and default. Both sound kind of basic, and then you have premium, which sounds expensive. This is all right, but I have to go through all of this and understand where are the differences. And this is really hard because it's not just like you have the feature, like I don't know, management or like corporate integration, and then you have check, which would be easier to compare, but you have the text there, and this is really hard because sometimes the text changes. Like here, 100 companies, here you have 500 companies, here you have unlimited, then here you have an extra line somewhere. Yeah, here you have a line break, which is not here, and so the lines are not on one level anymore, and so it's really hard to understand. So what I would do is just add an introduction copy here below the headline saying who is this for. Like starter is for individuals and freelancers, and default is for medium-sized companies, premium is for bigger companies, I don't know what. So just type it there. You might have your personas or your target audiences that you build these products for, so you can just put the information there. Then you have you have a call to action here below the plans, which is nice. So when people see this, I'm not saying pricing table because there's no price in there, but usually it's pricing tables that have this look and feel. But here you just have your packages, your plans, and then you have the call to action, and it's optically separated from the plans. So I would not do that. I said I don't talk about design today, but this is one thing that I would just add. So if you are having separate background colors for different areas on your page, it optically separates them from each other. It's like adding a line there, like this is now over and now comes the next part. And here the button or this find out which package is right for you is a part of your packages. So don't separate the content by adding different background colors here. It has to look as if it was one element that belongs together. Also, what you could do instead, I would just do the headline, the background thing, but what you could do instead is just add one button at the very bottom of each box saying like request your quote or get, I don't know, talk to us, something like that. All right, then just for the ending, a very small advice. So you have a testimonial here. What I found out in many tests is use testimonials at the top of your page. So try different positions, A/B test them, and see where people rather convert, because testimonials are very important. And I would just put it, maybe test adding them right at the top, like right below this area here, or maybe above the packages, or maybe next to the packages. You could also add another column here. I don't know, just try it and see where people convert better, because testimonials are really, really, really important. All right, last thing, then we're done, and then I will go through your questions again, but we're basically done. You have this, you might also be interested in, and this is now what we had in the very beginning. So adding navigation to your landing page distracts people and sends them in other direction, and they might not find the way back because they maybe came to this page through an advertisement that they don't see again, or I don't know what. Also, you have this paradox of choice. So if people have more than one option, they might make the wrong decision, and they don't want to make the wrong decision. They don't want to make the wrong decision, and so they might not decide at all. And this is what can happen here. So you're talking about your credit rating product. Why is there links at the bottom of the page to your other products like B2B marketing addresses? That's not relevant here. So remove that, because it might reduce your conversion rate. Of course, you can see that, or you can test that by adding some kind of event tracking. So just in analytics, fire an event when people click these things, and then see in your segmentation, how did people convert who did click these, and how did people convert who did not click these, and then you see if it's harming your conversion rate. All right, that's it. Switching back to my to my full screen webcam view. Yeah, that's my tips for today. I hope you learned something about conversion optimization, about landing page optimization, and just to give you just a quick heads up for the next time. So I said it earlier, the next time we're talking about e-commerce or online shop optimization, which will happen on August 15th. So the link is in the description of this live stream video. So just click it there and you can sign up. So you get the reminder, you add it to your calendar. Would be happy to see you there. And also on August 30th, we will talk about the first 10 seconds when someone visits a site, which will also be kind of interesting, I hope. And yeah, also just the last thing, I said it earlier, we have this, going back to my screen again. I told you we have this new video out. So for the Digital Family, it's my new startup. So that's why I'm advertising it a bit. So you can sign in here, and it's all free. So you can sign up for free, and then you go to videos, and here you have a lot of videos from really cool speakers and me, not saying that I'm cool, and you can watch it. And here, which I mentioned earlier. So this is the video where I talk about how you can direct the attention, how can you control where people look on your site. So as I mentioned this a lot today, this is where you can see how it works. I think it's a 40 minutes or 30 minutes video. So just sign up there. It's free, and I would be happy if you did that. And now, now I'm going through your comments, and if you're not interested in comments, then you can leave, but maybe there's some information still. Whoops, sorry. It's hard to be the director and the moderator at the same time. That's why I'm sometimes struggling a bit. Okay, so comments. Okay, so thanks. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Okay, Axel posted a nice link to should I use a carousel.com. So see it in the comments. And yeah, you should not use a slider. Sliders are bad. I have tested sliders like 20, 30 times, and they are always losing against the same content directly visible without waiting 35 seconds for the next slide. Okay, that was a question by Philip, by the way. So yeah, I hope that explains it. So you should not really use sliders, because you're using just too much space for very few information. So don't use sliders. But I talk about sliders all the time. I don't want to do it today. I already did, so yeah. Okay, so if you still have any questions, I'm still going through them. Oh, hello, Anne. Also, if you want to watch my next live streams, you can somehow, I think, subscribe to my live streams on Facebook. I don't really know if it's visible right now while you're watching. Okay. Sven asks, what's the address to the portal I just showed? I really don't want to advertise too much, but it's the digital.family. So you have wait a second. I see it at the top here. So it's the digital.family, and then you can sign up there. But going back again. Okay. So questions. Andreas asked, if it's not already intuitive behavior to scroll down on a website, no matter if there is a sign to do so or not, no. If it feels like the page is over, like it's the end of the page, people will not scroll down often. They sometimes do, of course, but if it looks like the page is over, like it's the full page, then people might not scroll down. So you should get some indication that there's something at the bottom, that there's more content below. Except on mobile. On mobile, if you have your phone and you use it and you come to a page, you do this. It's normal. So people scroll on mobile, usually they're above the fold. It's not really important. On desktop, I would say it's still important to at least make people understand there's more content at the bottom. I'm not saying squeeze all your content in the above the fold area. I'm just saying make people understand it's not just the above the fold area. Okay. No more comments. And so I would say goodbye. Thank you for watching. And if you're staying just a second, you will get the subscribe to further live streams when this live stream is done. And I'm just waving goodbye. And I hope you had a good time. And I hope the Technic stuff worked, because it was my first live stream with my new setup. And yeah, I'm stopping the stream now. Goodbye.